In the hallowed halls of the Louvre Museum in Paris, behind bulletproof glass and surrounded by crowds of mesmerized visitors, hangs perhaps the most famous painting in human history. Her enigmatic smile has captivated millions. Her gaze has followed countless admirers, and her secrets have puzzled art historians, scientists, and conspiracy theorists for over 500 years. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the extraordinary world of Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, a painting that is far more mysterious than you could ever imagine. But what makes this relatively small portrait, measuring just 77 by 53 centimeters, so incredibly fascinating? Why does this woman's face continue to spark debates, inspire countless theories, and generate millions of dollars in tourism revenue? The answer lies not just in what we can see, but in the layers upon layers of secrets that Leonardo da Vinci masterfully concealed within every brushstroke. You see, when Leonardo began working on this masterpiece around 1503, he wasn't simply creating a portrait. He was embedding a complex web of scientific knowledge, artistic innovation, and personal mysteries that would take centuries to unravel. Every element of this painting, from the subject's mysterious identity to the revolutionary painting techniques, from the symbolic landscape to the optical illusions hidden in plain sight, tells a story that goes far beyond what meets the eye. Consider this. Modern technology has revealed that beneath the visible surface of the Mona Lisa lie multiple hidden layers of paint containing entirely different compositions and even different faces. X-ray analysis and infrared reflectography have shown us that Leonardo painted, repainted, and modified this work continuously over nearly 16 years of his life. But why? What was he trying to perfect? Or perhaps, what was he trying to hide? The woman we see today might not even be the original subject. Advanced scanning techniques have revealed the ghostly outline of a completely different portrait underneath, one with a larger head, different hand positions, and a more direct gaze. Some researchers believe Leonardo was simultaneously working on multiple portraits, layering them one upon another like a visual palimpsest, each telling its own story. And then there's the smile, that famous, elusive expression that seems to change depending on where you stand and how you look at it. This isn't just artistic genius, it's scientific precision. Leonardo understood the mechanics of human vision better than anyone of his time. He knew that our peripheral vision processes images differently than our direct gaze, and he exploited this knowledge to create an optical illusion that makes the Mona Lisa's expression appear to shift and change. When you look directly at her mouth, the smile seems to fade, but when you focus on her eyes or forehead, the smile becomes more pronounced. This technique, called sfumato, was Leonardo's revolutionary approach to creating lifelike depth and atmosphere. But the mysteries don't stop there. Who was this woman really? While most art historians accept that she was Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a Florentine merchant, this identification wasn't confirmed until relatively recently, and even now, alternative theories persist. Some scholars argue she could be Leonardo's mother. Others suggest she might be an idealized composite of multiple women, and a few even propose that she could be Leonardo himself in feminine form. A theory supported by facial recognition software that has identified striking similarities between the Mona Lisa's features and Leonardo's self-portraits. Today, we're going to embark on a journey through time and mystery, peeling back the layers of one of humanity's greatest artistic achievements. We'll explore cutting-edge scientific discoveries that are rewriting art history, delve into conspiracy theories that have captured imaginations for generations, and uncover the ingenious techniques that made Leonardo da Vinci not just an artist, but a master of human psychology and optical science. Prepare to see the Mona Lisa as you've never seen her before, not just as a beautiful painting, but as a complex puzzle that continues to reveal new secrets with every technological advancement and scholarly investigation. Now that we've glimpsed the surface mysteries of this extraordinary masterpiece, let's dive deeper into the revolutionary techniques that Leonardo da Vinci employed to create what many consider the most technically perfect painting ever created. Understanding these methods is crucial to unraveling the deeper secrets hidden within the Mona Lisa, because Leonardo wasn't just painting a portrait, he was conducting a scientific experiment in human perception and artistic innovation. The first groundbreaking technique we must examine is Leonardo's legendary sfumato, a word derived from the Italian sfumare, meaning to evaporate like smoke. This technique involves the subtle gradation of tones and colors without harsh outlines or borders, creating an almost ethereal quality that makes the subject appear to emerge from the canvas like a living, breathing person. But here's what makes it truly extraordinary. Leonardo didn't just stumble upon this technique. He developed it through years of anatomical study, dissecting human corpses to understand exactly how skin, muscle, and bone interact with light and shadow. When you look at the Mona Lisa's face, notice how there are no visible brushstrokes, no harsh lines defining her features. Leonardo applied layers upon layers of translucent glazes. Some estimates suggest over 30 individual layers, each one thinner than a human hair. This painstaking process took years to complete, with Leonardo allowing each layer to dry completely before applying the next. The result is a luminous quality that seems to glow from within, as if the subject possesses an inner light source. But Leonardo's technical mastery goes far beyond sfumato. Recent scientific analysis has revealed his use of a technique called spolvero, a method of transferring designs using perforated cartoons and charcoal dust. However, infrared reflectography shows that Leonardo deviated significantly from his original cartoon, suggesting that he was improvising and experimenting even as he painted. This spontaneous creativity, combined with meticulous planning, reveals an artist who was simultaneously methodical and intuitive. Perhaps even more fascinating is Leonardo's understanding of atmospheric perspective, the way distant objects appear hazier and bluer due to atmospheric interference. Look at the landscape behind the Mona Lisa, the winding paths, the bridge, the misty mountains that seem to fade into infinity. Leonardo studied this phenomenon scientifically, writing extensively about how particles in the air affect our perception of distant objects. He applied this knowledge to create a background that doesn't just serve as decoration, but actually enhances the three-dimensional illusion of the portrait itself. Modern spectroscopic analysis has revealed something even more remarkable about Leonardo's paint composition. He didn't simply use the standard pigments of his time. He experimented with unique mixtures and binding agents. For the flesh tones, he used an incredibly complex combination of vermilion, red ochre, and lead white, but mixed with a binding medium that scientists are still trying to fully understand. Some researchers believe he incorporated elements of his own experimental varnishes, which would explain the painting's extraordinary preservation and its unique luminous quality. The most mind-blowing aspect of Leonardo's technique, however, is his manipulation of human visual psychology. He understood that the human eye processes information differently depending on lighting conditions and viewing angles. The famous smile appears and disappears because Leonardo painted it using primarily low spatial frequencies, the type of visual information that our peripheral vision processes most effectively. When you look directly at the mouth, your central vision, which processes high spatial frequencies, can't detect the subtle shadows that create the smile. But when you look at her eyes, your peripheral vision picks up those low-frequency shadows, and the smile becomes apparent. This wasn't accidental. Leonardo's notebooks contain extensive studies on optics, vision, and human anatomy. He understood the mechanics of the human eye better than most scientists of his era. He knew about the blind spot, he studied how pupils dilate and contract, and he documented how different lighting conditions affect perception. All of this scientific knowledge was deliberately incorporated into his painting technique, making the Mona Lisa not just a work of art, but a masterpiece of applied psychology and optical science. But these revolutionary techniques were just the foundation for something even more extraordinary: the hidden layers and secret compositions that modern technology has only recently begun to reveal. These groundbreaking artistic techniques that we've just explored were merely the visible surface of Leonardo's genius. What modern science has discovered beneath these masterful brushstrokes is perhaps even more astounding than what meets the eye. Thanks to cutting-edge technology that Leonardo himself could never have imagined, we're now able to peer through the centuries and uncover the hidden secrets that lie buried within the very fabric of the Mona Lisa. In 2004, a team of researchers using advanced infrared reflectography made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the art world. Beneath the final painting, they found not one, but multiple hidden compositions, earlier versions that Leonardo had painted over as he refined his vision. The most startling revelation was the discovery of what appears to be a completely different woman in the earliest layer. This underlying figure has broader shoulders, a different facial structure, and is positioned at a slightly different angle. The question that immediately arose was earth-shattering. Was Leonardo painting multiple subjects, or was he creating an entirely fictional composite woman? But the technological revelations didn't stop there. Using a technique called macro X-ray fluorescence scanning, scientists discovered that Leonardo had originally painted the subject with much more elaborate clothing and jewelry. Hidden beneath the simple black dress we see today are traces of intricate patterns, decorative elements, and what appears to be a complex necklace or collar. Even more fascinating, infrared analysis revealed that her hands were originally positioned differently. The famous pose with one hand resting over the other was actually a later artistic decision. Perhaps the most mind-bending discovery came from multispectral imaging analysis conducted by French engineer Pascal Cotte, who spent over 15 years studying the painting with technology capable of detecting layers just micrometers thick. His findings suggest that the Mona Lisa we know today is actually the fourth major iteration of the composition. Each previous version shows subtle but significant changes in facial features, expression, and even the direction of the subject's gaze. It's as if Leonardo was conducting an evolutionary experiment, gradually morphing his subject towards some idealized vision that existed only in his mind. Even more extraordinary is what these hidden layers reveal about Leonardo's working methods. Traditional Renaissance practice involved creating detailed preparatory drawings and then transferring them to canvas with minimal deviation. But the Mona Lisa shows evidence of constant revision, experimentation, and what can only be described as artistic evolution happening directly on the canvas. Leonardo was literally thinking with his brush, allowing the painting to guide him toward discoveries he hadn't initially planned. The technological analysis has also revealed something that challenges our fundamental understanding of Renaissance portraiture. Chemical analysis of the paint layers shows that Leonardo worked on this painting intermittently over a period of at least 16 years, far longer than previously believed. Some sections show evidence of being painted, then left to age for years before being modified or painted over. This suggests that the Mona Lisa wasn't just a commissioned portrait, but a lifelong obsession, a canvas that Leonardo returned to again and again as his understanding of art, science, and human nature evolved. But perhaps the most intriguing hidden element discovered through modern analysis is what researchers call the ghost smile. Using advanced digital enhancement techniques, scientists have identified traces of an earlier, more pronounced smile hidden beneath the subtle expression we see today. This earlier smile was broader, more conventional, and more clearly defined. Leonardo deliberately painted over it, choosing instead the enigmatic expression that has captivated viewers for centuries. This suggests that the famous ambiguous smile wasn't his first instinct. It was a calculated artistic decision born from years of contemplation and revision. The most recent breakthrough came in 2019 when researchers using particle accelerator technology discovered microscopic particles embedded in the paint that don't match any known pigments from Leonardo's era. These particles appear to be experimental compounds that Leonardo created himself, possibly incorporating materials from his alchemical studies. This discovery reinforces the theory that Leonardo approached the Mona Lisa not just as an artistic project, but as a comprehensive scientific experiment involving chemistry, optics, psychology, and perhaps even early materials science. Yet these hidden technical layers are just the beginning of the mystery, because beneath the revolutionary techniques and secret compositions lies perhaps the most controversial question of all: the true identity of the woman whose enigmatic gaze has haunted humanity for over 5 centuries.